All right, GLHF being called as ByuN and Maru enter the Archon arena. Now, I see a lot of discussion in the chat. Should it be ByuN for the Archon name or ByuN? I kind of like ByuN, don't you think? So ByuN and Maru in the upper left-hand side. In the bottom right, we do have blue Protoss players, Holy Hit and Hydra. Unfortunately, one of the lower seeds in the entire tournament. Hence why they ended up against ByuN and Maru. In fact, I think they might be the lowest seed of the tournament. Hence why ByuN and Maru are their first opponents in the group stage. You guys like ByuN? I kind of like ByuN as well. ByuN? Alright. I'm kind of intrigued that ByuN and Maru seem to be talking via text chat. Which would suggest that they're not... that would suggest that they're probably going to be... okay, says Maru, so whatever the plan is, Maru's gonna get behind it. It kind of suggests to me they're not talking on Discord or something, which I think is kind of crazy if you're gonna go for a bit of a Archon mode game. You can see they're both selecting their tracks. Again, the dash line, the full line selection. I'm very intrigued as to what the plan may be. It is proxy racks, of course, to begin with. As you do have our SCV gonna go down the bottom right side. And, yeah, just trying to put some pressure on, just get a bit of information. Now, Reaper's on the way. And yes, ByuN and Maru play together here, guys. What we can do, of course, is check vision a little bit. Right now, both their vision is on this SCV in this bunker, so it seems like they're both just following the same thing at the moment. We'll see what they want to do a little bit later on. And see what they're going to do. And it's just going to be seeing the... Ooh, SCV goes down, and now the Reaper shows up. Okay. Well, that's going to be ByuN controlling the Reaper at the moment. Oh, says Maru. The SCV went down, but they pulled the Protoss... I think this says they pulled 5 probes. For Robu, 5 probes, and he laughs. Oh my god. Maru is... Maru's already laughing at his opponents. Can you believe it? 5 probes? Lol. Wow. 3 probe kills so far as well. And they're actually going to get maybe 5 probe kills here as well. ByuN actually misclicked initially. And he fired 1 extra shot that could have been on that probe. Oh, he's going to get it with the second Reaper. So they do get 5 probe kills in the end. And, okay, I mean, we really need a translation for this now. I feel like people are asking if we could see some talking. I think that says 6 kills for us. ByuN says 6 kills. And I don't really know what the rest says. Handos. I think they're I think they're discussing how many probes they've killed and that they've definitely had a good time. And I think ByuN was even saying, I think that's GG. Anyway, so this game continues as apparently the way that ByuN and Maru are going to not be the best in the world at Archon is by having to type so much that they're actually using, you know, overall less APM because they're typing and using up APM instead. Oh, okay, amazing. All right, so ByuN and Maru get a command center up, of course. They finish that up, gonna start morphing in this orbital. Just gonna be seeing our Banshee on the way in the main base. Cloak on the way up. The siege tank is starting on the factory. And the Dark Shrine from Holy Hit and Hydra on the way in the main base as well. It's getting that ready to go, so trying to be a little bit cheesy here. I like it. That's definitely one way to make this game a little more interesting. You can see these Stalkers trying to protect out the front as well. Reaper and the Hellions trying to make their way back up here. Do they have 800 APM? Right now, their combined APM, you can see that the average is 503, which is pretty impressive APM. Usually people average like 200 to 300, right? Yeah, usually average like 200 to 300, so definitely the APM is definitely up there. Let's take a look at their vision again. So this is going to be ByuN, and that's going to be ByuN's vision here. He's controlling the Banshee while Maru is at home building up units and macros. So this is Maru right now in the base building up. And here we go with the Banshee into the main. You'll start getting some probes. First observer is about to pop out. You will have detection to help with this. I'm going to be seeing ByuN needs to get rid of some of these lower health probes, and he will start to do that now. I thought that observer just popped out. Finally arrives. 6 workers, though, and again, the probe kill count is already pretty high here early on. I mean, that's now going to be 12 workers killed this game for the 2 Reaper proxy opening, and Banshee play that is still ongoing. I mean, this is just the first Banshee as well. In fact, there was only 1 Banshee made. I didn't realize. I actually made 1 Banshee and Cloak. As the DTs show up and they get themselves 4 SCVs, so at least there is some counterplay. As it is, as ByuN updates Maru, he says 9 kills. 9 kill. So yeah, just an update, by the way. I'm doing good. Don't you worry about me. Yeah, the DTs are doing okay, though. And that's definitely going to help Holy Hit and Hydra kind of stay in this. Holy Hit on the control of this Prism and DT drop at the moment. This is just going to be having our Terran Archon building up a lot, right? Marine, Tank, Raven coming through. A couple of DTs drop back down, looking for a couple more SCVs or so. The Prism will have to move around up to the top side. Have you seen the Raven just controlling, just going to go chasing down the Prism here, make sure it gets chased away. This Banshee just kind of sits around, can't really go anywhere with the Stalkers and it being low HP, so Banshee is kind of stuck. I like how ByuN's just like, right, my Banshee's stuck, I'm going to come and take the Raven, by the way. We might need this for the push, yes, you know, that big push, which, you know, and we might need it for, like, DT detection, but I need to do something, right? Like, I need to work with something, so I guess I'm going to take the Raven. I'll just harass with this for the next few moments. He just can't stop. He just can't stop. He's got to find a way to do something. So here we go, down the right side. ByuN is going to move in. And he's going to drop down an auto turret, which will go in after a couple of probes here right away. 2, 3 probes already going down. Across the map, DT Zealot is going to make a play. Obviously, charge shots and blink DTs to try and break through. Didn't really, sorry, maybe I'm being a bit bad and a little bit too ByuN Maru focused, but there is a lot of gates up here. This is a committed attack from the pros players to try and make this work. I mean, Stim is done, but there's no combat shields yet. The CC has to lift off. Gonna blink in. Oh, the DTs don't actually get a good blink. A lot of them get kind of blocked away from getting on top of the Marines. They kill 15 SCVs, but then remember, this is basically the entire Protoss army. Actually, scan does fade, and you see, so the CC will land again. That means you should be able to scan once more. The DTs make a smart blink away. Man, they get actually good damage done. 19 SCVs killed, so they put out a good fight. Their army just will not stand up to the Terran pressure. You know, when this Terran army moves across the map, this Protoss army is not made to fight that Terran army in the slightest. It's okay in lower numbers, because in lower numbers you can overwhelm it. Like we were just kind of seeing when the DTs blink in and all of that. But yeah, I mean, in this regard, it's going to be really difficult when the IO count gets up, the Stim now available. It's going to be really difficult to make these fights work. And you're also down in upgrades now as Holy Hit and Hydra, so you're down upgrades. It's going to be another issue in amongst all the rest of this. Well, ByuN is going to realize that there's no anti-air here, so he's just going to sit overhead and see what's warping in. And here you go, the Raven going to pull back. The bio army should be large enough here. I don't think there's a way to really stop this from happening, right? Auto turret goes down, turns the Zealot Dog Temple aside. Just going to be seeing a couple of extra DTs and Zealots warping in. Here we go, DT's going to blink across to the other side, trying to get on top of the bio units. Now Zealots are going to get cleaned out, and that should just be it. For ByuN and Maru to clean up house, win out the first game of this Archon mode. GG's are called. ByuN and Maru take their first game of this series and of this group. GG. As we kick this one off, in the top right hand side, taking that first map, our red Terran players are ByuN and Maru, aka Byaru. Somebody said we should call them Marion, which is actually not bad as well. Or you could also call it Marbion. Marbion. Or Barry. Byaru. I still like Byaru. I think Byaru sounds cool. Byaru. In the bottom left, Holy Hit and Hydra. Could be Holy Draft, could be High Hit. Oh, some fun names. All right, so we got this going. I think they're discussing ping a little bit, and Maru apparently has 215 or so. And obviously, they switched servers for game 2. I believe it's West Central West is the combo of servers that they servers that they play. So the first game would have been not so bad. Second game would have been on Central. So maybe this one was just a little bit laggy, and that's what they're discussing. Nexus is dropping down the natural, and otherwise just back at home this time from ByuN and Maru. So nothing too crazy or out of the ordinary this time. I feel like Archon Zerg would be amazing, even more micro potential. Archon Zerg is really good for creep spread. I said this the other day when we were casting the Zergs, but I will stand by it. I think that creep spread on Archon Zerg is almost broken. Like it's almost so difficult. I feel like it's so difficult to fix. It's just, you know, one of the things that made Zerg better and better over the years was obviously the improved creep spread that they got. And Archon mode Zerg really kind of puts the creep to a whole new level again, right? So it's kind of funny. Can we get a Biaru versus Serenor? Oh, ByuN Maru versus Serral and Raynor? I mean, I wish. You guys want to come up with a couple $1,000? I'm sure we can convince them to play. Just, yeah, just, you know, so someone has the money. I'll send some messages out. I know it's ByuN that convinced Maru to play this, by the way. ByuN really likes playing like everything possible. And he is very enthusiastic about it. I told this story when signups were happening, but it's actually a fun one. So I basically, the last team to sign up was ByuN and Maru. So I opened my, like, you know, my Google Sheets after signup shows. I'm like, oh my god, what? I double check it's the real ByuN on the Discord as well, just to make sure. So I like double check, and I'm in a different Discord, so just make sure it's the same account. It is. And I'm like, oh my god. So I add ByuN. I add everyone else. I invite them to the Discord server we used to organize this. And ByuN is just like, hello, like instantly as I invite him, ByuN's like, hello. He's the first person to join the Discord. He's there. The second somebody else joins, ByuN is like, hi, hi. And he's like, who are you playing with? And he's like talking to like Lambo and then a laser in the future. And he was saying like, oh, you know, we're going to destroy you. ByuN was just having an amazing time. Just kind of getting ready to play this event. And just being a part of it from the get-go, which was really fun to watch. You know, honestly, this is why ByuN's my favorite player. He's just fun to watch, fun to cast. But he's just such a cool guy. Like, he's just such a friendly guy. Like, every time somebody joined the Discord server, he'd be like, oh, hi. He'd be like, what's your race? What team are you? Or who's your teammate and stuff? Yeah, it was funny. It was cool to see. All right, so game number 2, we obviously see a little bit of harassment early, and a couple of SCVs and the Reaper have gone down so far. The Terran players did pick up the Scout on the Stargate, so they're aware of that. Playing into Viking and Cyclone at the moment. That's going to be seeing a couple of Hellions out down the bottom, and a couple of Adepts at the top as well, trying to see what maybe they want to do. Forge in the Robo Bay on the way up. Just going to be seeing the Gateway on the way through. And Cyclone Viking is going to get rid of the Phoenix. The Phoenix out the front will go down already. It's a nice catch, obviously. Every Phoenix that you kill is less Phoenix to harass with and all of that good stuff. So that's something to watch out for here. So just going to be seeing the Cyclone Vikings just pulling back a little bit, but good job so far. Taking a bit of map control and being successful with it. And now these Phoenix are just back at home. They're not harassing. They're not holding map control like you maybe expect that they should. And Frostplay is going to add a bit of immortal safety to the ground army. Mortals really do buffer up this ground army, make it that much better. And that Phoenix gonna fly across into the natural here. Gonna lift up one SCV. Whoa, the double Widow might know. One Phoenix gets hit, and then the second gets hit, and that kills both of them. This bit of a Widow Mine now just gonna chase this down. Gonna get another Phoenix, and this is Holy Hidden Hydra not having a really good game so far, right? Things are just falling apart here very early on, and that's a little bit of a shame. So Colossi on the way out, but now these Colossi are not going to be supported very well. And remember, you've invested into so many of these Phoenix early, you now not really do that much with them. That's a real problem. Alright, well, these guys gotta keep on chatting away. I'm genuinely impressed. Honestly, can you imagine how much scarier they'd be if they didn't have to stop to chat all the time? Like, they just stopped. Like, they're just constantly typing at each other. Imagine they just had microphones. That's the problem, right? I guess they don't have microphones, so they can't talk. Oh, that's funny. Alright, ByuN is going to be moving forward, and we do have the push coming across. We do have 1-1 upgrades, combat shield coming up at the moment. Now down we go down the left-hand side, ByuN and Maru. So it is actually Maru who seems to be in control of this army, by the way. So Maru's selecting this one. Does that mean ByuN's back at home? So ByuN is on the macro this time around. So we have had a bit of a swap. Last time it was ByuN microing. But it does seem like ByuN is macroing, Maru is microing. As Maru sets up the Widow Mine here, Colossus is going to have a hallucinated Phoenix to try and soak a Widow Mine shot. Doesn't get the soak. I'm going to see the Medivacs loading up, and they're going to drop over to the main base. The Raven going to move with it. And just going to get a bit of a position over here. So Maru finds an opportunity, and he is going to go straight for Pylon and powers one gateway. As Zealots show up, going to see a triple auto turret, and that's actually going to really chew through Zealots. The Zealots drop quickly now, attacking the front side as well. That's not going to go as well, but the Widow Mine gets a decent shot at least. And now over here we are on a mineral line, so you're losing some probes. I mean, some of this Terran army getting cleaned up. A lot of it getting cleaned up, but they've kind of done the damage to make it worthwhile. And now Marauders will drop in, try for another probe or two. This will finally get cleaned out. I mean, imagine the Phoenix were still around, right? That's one of the issues is, oh no, the Widow Mine drop found a bunch of kills. About 9 extras from the Widow Mines. Yeah, the problem is, right, it's kind of one of those scenarios where you're meant to have a, you're meant to have more Phoenix, and the Phoenix are meant to be stopping the Medivacs, going different places and pulling you apart while the rest of your army is very immobile. You know, you don't have Blink, you don't have anything else. The Phoenix are meant to be your drop defense. It's very hard to be a drop defense when you've lost a bunch of those Phoenix early in the game. Okay, here we go. The army around the top side here from Holy Hidden Hydra. As ByuN and Maru load up everything, but the army's right there, so they're just going to unload it once again. It is Maru on the control of the army once more as he stims forward, moves up the Widow Mines. I'll load up now. What? Maru is just going to go drop on top of the Colossus recall. But everything else is going to be stuck here, so that's going to be a cleanup. And now Maru is going to take this army across the map, pushing over to see what's going on. So here we go with ByuN on a push across the map to capitalize on everything they just killed off. Loads up again into the main base. We will go. I'm just going to be seeing the rest of this Bioforce coming into the center. Marauders and Marines unloading. Widow Mines are going to burrow up. I'm just going to go straight and gets a pylon. That's a pylon that he was actually working on a little bit earlier. Remember, he killed this pylon here, so killing this one now actually empowers these gateways. When otherwise they might not have done so much. So that's just capitalizing on something you've gotten done earlier on in this game. Vikings are showing up. ByuN's controlling these as they get here, and they're going to start killing off Colossus. At the same time, Maru's got a group of units over on the right-hand side. Gonna get rid of the pylon. Super battery depowered. And now we've got ByuN from the main base dropping back in to take the fight on the third base. Get rid of this third Nexus. And Yaru are looking to take a game number 2. And hence their first series of the competition here as they continue to push on in. Probers down. I mean, even if you lose this army right here, which you will do without getting the Nexus, you've killed the workers where you can just keep trading anyway eventually. Vikings just here pushing out damage as well. Nearly killed a Colossus. This last little group of bio units will probably go down in the end, but there's so much more where they came from, pouring out of all these racks. The unit production is looking good. Obviously with an 83 to 24 worker count, it's just a matter of time before ByuN and Maru start to take a real advantage when it comes to the army supplies as well. There's a lot of SCVs going down over here. I mean, that's actually a nice catch, but it's even more probes going down as Widow Mines hit the main and the natural. And here you go. Liberators are out to help defend against this. And ByuN and Maru are going to win the first matchup that they play in this group. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone necessarily. Still very cool to see them doing it. And it was a pretty fun game as well. GG's. ByuN and Maru will go to the winners match to play against Geralt.